Alright, so I kind of have to hurry with this video because the sun is quickly going down and I was really hoping to use natural lighting for this, so I am crossing my fingers that I can talk fast and get this done fast. The first thing to start off this makeup look, I am going to be using a primer. The primer that I'm going to be using today is the NARS Pro Prime. Next, I will be taking the Rimmel Wake Me Up Concealer. This is going to act as a base for my eyeshadow, so it's just going to help all of my eyeshadows stick and stay throughout the day and not move around or anything like that. I just like to use my ring finger and just kind of smooth it around. Once my concealer is applied to my eyelids, I am then going to start with my eyeshadow. This is just a light, almost like whitish ivory color. I am going to go ahead and apply some of this. Maybe. Not too picky about my brushes, so I'm just going to be using this little fluffy eyeshadow brush. Once I have that done, then I am going to go in with my Urban Decay eyeshadow in the color Sin. I'm just going to take this little Urban Decay brush. I got this in my Naked 2 palette, I believe. I'm going to take the more thin side and grab a little bit of the Sin eyeshadow, and I am just going to apply it right on my lid. Once I have the Sin eyeshadow applied, I will take the fluffy end of that same brush and I just kind of like to blend it out. I probably do my makeup way different than 99% of people, but this is just what works for me, so you can really do things in whatever order that you want. For foundation today, I am going to be using the NARS Sheer Glow, a good old classic. I am just going to give that a quick little shake. Then I will apply a little bit of this foundation on the back of my hand. Once I have put a little bit of the NARS Sheer Glow on the back of my hand, I am just going to come in with a foundation brush. This one is from Sephora. I am going to take that and I am going to just apply this kind of roughly on my face because I will come in with a beauty blender here in a little bit. Alright, so once I have my rough coat of foundation on, I am going to go in with my beauty blender and I'm just going to go ahead and just start patting the foundation and just patting it into my skin. Now I am going to go ahead and do any concealing that I need to do. I am going to use the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer, and this is in the shade NW20. I am just going to actually take a little bit of this on my finger, and I'm going to take my two fingers and just rub them together and directly apply that under my eyes. Once I have the initial coat of the concealer on, I am going to go back in with the pointy end of my beauty blender and just blend that into my eye area and down on my nose. Once my foundation is applied and all finished, I am going to go in with a translucent powder. Usually I start by going in with this small fluffy brush, and this is going to help me have more control over the inner corners of my eyes and my under eye area where I applied the concealer. I will take that and I like to just put a little bit of the powder into the lid. Then I just like to tap my brush into it and just start applying it under my eyes. Alright, so once I finish with my small brush, I am then going to go ahead and go in with my fluffy brush. I will continue to use the neutral set powder to finish applying it onto the rest of my face. Next up, I'm going to use one of my very favorite products, and this is the MAC Studio Fix Powder. I'm going to take some of this and just take another fluffy brush, swirl it around, apply it all over my face. Once I finish with the Studio Fix powder, I am then going to start blush. I will start with a semi-fluffy brush, not quite as fluffy as the last one that I used. I will be using the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Blush, and it is in the shade C1-2 in Baby Blossom. Ooh. Does not sound nice. I'm just going to take a little bit of that on my brush. I like to just put it kind of up like this. And then I'm going to come in with a different type of blush, and this is called Bella Pierre Cosmetics. I have no clue where I got this. I think I may have gotten this in one of those month-to-month sample bags. I don't really know, but this stuff is amazing. This is their mineral blush, and this is in the color Desert Rose. I will take the same brush and just get a little tiny bit, and then go right in the middle of my cheek. Finally, I like to go in, again, using the same brush, multi-purpose, what's up? And I like to just use a darker pink color. So I will take just a little tiny bit of this and just pop it right on the apples of my cheeks. Alright, so now I am going to go back in with my eyeshadow. Again, starting with the color Sin and using the same brush, I am just going to apply a little bit of that directly onto my lid. Then I will take this MAC palette. This is one of those like create your own MAC palettes. I like to take the color Soba, and I take the fluffy side of this brush and just swirl it around and pop that right into the crease of my eye. Last but not least, I like to take this angled brush, and this is from MAC, and I will use this color, which is Espresso, and I will put this on the outer corner of my eye. Going back in with the color Soba, I will do another little bit of this just to make sure all of the colors are nice and blended. The next thing that I'm going to do is the fun part. I am going to curl my eyelashes. Alright friends, we are making progress. I absolutely hate liquid liner. I just cannot use it. My hands are not steady enough. I don't know. But I tend to just use a pencil liner, and then I like to use a brush like this that's really thin and flat. And this is just going to smudge out your eyeliner really well. So taking my eyeliner pencil, I am just going to follow my lash line. Once you get a little bit of that on there, then you're going to come in with your brush. You are just going to kind of smudge out the eyeliner. Baby snoring. Using this same brush that has a little bit of eyeliner on it, I like to take it under my lower lashes as well. Once I finish up my eyeliner, I am then going to do mascara. I do mascara a little different than probably pretty much anybody else. I like to use a lot of mascara and a lot of different kinds of mascara because all mascaras do something a little bit different. They all have different brushes, yada yada yada. I will start off by using the Maybelline Lash Sensational Full Fan Effect Waterproof Mascara. I am then going to go in with CoverGirl's Lash Blast. Next, I'm going to go in with CoverGirl's Lash Blast Length Mascara. Another really weird Kelly-ism that I like to add into my makeup routine. I like to take my index fingers and just touch them onto my lashes. I like to do this to just make sure that all of my lashes are sticking together and I don't have any crazy little stray ones. The last mascara that I am going to be using is the CoverGirl Lash Exact Mascara. I am going to go in on my lower lashes. Now that I've finished my mascara, I am going to go back in with my same eyeliner pencil. I'm just going to line the waterline inside of my eye. I'm going to use this eyebrow pencil and I'm just going to fill in my eyebrows. Last but not least, I am going to go in with my Benefit Gimme Brow Gel. I'm going to go back in with my light colored eyeshadow. The very last thing that I like to do is lipstick and lip liner. Using my Makeup Forever lipstick, this is in the color N9. And then I'm going to come in with this Rimmel Kate Moss lipstick, and this is in the color 107. Finally, I will come in with my Revlon Color Burst lip pencil, and this is in the color Sultry, number 225. This is my final makeup look, so I hope you guys like it. Oh, and it was really nice to watch the sunset with you guys because it's officially nighttime outside, so all of the natural light is completely gone. Last week's video was a hair tutorial, and I also gave away some goodies in that video. And if your name is... Congratulations, you've won! So be sure to check your inbox here on YouTube. I've already sent you a message and I will get your prizes sent out shortly. So congratulations, I hope you love everything. Come say hello to me on some of my social media sites. I would love to talk to all of you, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see all of you in next week's video. Bye guys!